If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now everything's on sale during our Memorial Day event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses for a limited time. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
It's time for the Larry H. Miller Utah Summer Games at Southern Utah University in Cedar City. Register today to participate in the 40th anniversary season of a Utah sports tradition at utahsummergames.org. Participate in over 50 sports around the state. Then plan to join the opening ceremonies Friday, June 5th, presented by State Bank of Southern Utah. Register today to participate in the 40th anniversary season of the Larry H. Miller Utah Summer Games.
All right, PK, it is time for the question of the morning. BYU and Utah State didn't play in basketball last year, but they're going to play next year. How about that? A 2-year deal. 1 game in Provo, 1 game at the Delta Center, and 0 games in Logan. Why not in Logan? And the answers are fantastic. Jeff, why go to Logan if you don't have to? Curtis, because they're scared. And Nathan, you know why.
Why?
Scared Cougars, Wade says. And Alex calls it, because they know they'll lose if they play in the Spectrum.
Did you spell lose right?
Scared, PK.
Loose?
They did spell it correctly. 1-O, not loose. Spelled lose, Lose. Bryant says, why would they if they don't have to? The reality is BYU's in a conference that allows them to make these deals and for programs like Utah State to accept.
Well, why do anything if you don't have to? Why play any? Why have a tough non-conference schedule? Because what you're saying is that the conference schedule that you have in the Big 12 will be tough enough. And so if you're going to extrapolate, just don't take it one single game. Why do anything that you don't have to in the non-conference? Just build yourself a bunch of false confidence and a glossy record and play most of your games at home. Do that stuff then. I mean, the idea being, you don't have to. No one's forcing you. No one's forcing you to play Utah State at home either. But the idea is that, you want to test your team as reasonably as much as possible, and going there would be a nice test. And I don't think that you have nothing to gain and everything to lose by going there and losing. Majerus took teams there. I was there. I know it. And they did okay, even if they lost there. That was not the end of the world. And he took a team to Weber, and they lost. I think who was the guy? Boyette was a great player for Weber.
Jermaine Boyette.
Yeah. And so,
yes.
And I can recall after the game, he took about a half hour to come out, and every question was, Weber played an excellent game. I asked him like 4 questions. I said, is that going to be it? Is that all you're going to say? I mean, he wouldn't take my crap, nor would I take his. And so, he was all mad and all sorts of stuff. But the world didn't end that they lost at Weber. And it certainly wouldn't end if you lose at Utah State. And going into the Pac-12, Utah State now has a rep that has grown just in the last 3 years, or 4 or 5 years if you even want to extend it out. They've won games in the NCAA tournament. It's not unusual for them now to be in the round of 32. Round of 16 is another story, but the round of 32, does anybody really bat an eye that they won a game in the NCAA tournament now? When they do it, no, I don't think so. I think they've achieved that level.
They've done it a couple times. And
they've
done it a couple times and recognized they could have done it a third, but there was no tournament in 2020. But that team looked like it was poised to win. So it does look like they've gone to a different level. And obviously the NIL rules have benefited them, not as much as they've benefited other schools, but their results with the coaching transitions in this area that they've had to go through have been really good. So they're excelling in the NIL era.
Those are all facts. So with that in mind,
I think there's a case to be made that BYU can be better in the Big 12 if they play true road games and get used to what it's like to play in the Big 12. And whether kids are coming in from high school ball or whether they're coming from other schools, have they been in some of these atmospheres? Now, the first year, KY didn't get to make his own schedule. They did have a road game at Providence. They ended up with a winning record on the road, 6-5. This last year, they played a bunch of neutral site games, and some of them were neutral-ish, road-ish games, I guess you could say. But they didn't play any true road games until they got to conference, and they went 3-6 in conference. And you can say partly it's the roster construction, and you could say partly it's the injuries, but going to Logan prepare you for going to Houston or Tucson or Texas Tech or Iowa State or Kansas or wherever else? 2 years ago, they got a big road win at Iowa State, double overtime.
Well, I don't think any single game is not going to prepare you. It's not going to be the be-all, end-all. If I play in Logan, then I'm good to go for all my 9 road conference games. I mean,
And I don't buy the argument that could carry the day back in Majerus's era where there was a lot more eyeball test, even though these things, these formulas and that they're using now are stacked to favor the power conferences. They're still there. You're either a quad 1 game or a quad 2 game or what. Utah State, to your point, is going to be a quad 1 game most of the time going forward, and when they're not, they're quad 2. So it's not like it's just going to be dismissed. Your record in those games is a factor, and the fact that you played more of them is a factor. So play a true quad 2 road game or quad 1 road game, depending on the year.
Yeah.
Why not?
After they went to the Garden, I think that's where they played Clemson, right? And Wright hit the three-pointer at the end of the game there to win it. Mm-hmm. Their next schedule before conference was UC Riverside, Pacific, Abilene Christian, and Eastern Washington. It didn't much matter.
Which prepares you for nothing.
Yeah, but then they go on the road and they beat Kansas State anyway. I don't know how much preparation it's going to be. I think that's somewhat overrated. The fact that they don't play in Logan, I don't think is that boy, they just didn't know how to win on the road. Because in the NCAA tournament, you don't play road games anyway. So when it really counts, you're back to the neutral sites in the first place. So the idea could be play as many neutral site games as you can because that's going to prepare you for the NCAA tournament. Nobody ever says that, but it's always, play road games. Why not? It prepares you. Well, do both. Yeah. Do both.
And specifically, should BYU be targeting the 4 arenas that they know are going to host Thursday, Saturday games? You get neutral site games in those arenas, no matter what.
Yeah, someone said for that. Yeah, that's a good point.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now everything's on sale during our Memorial Day event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses for a limited time. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good night's sleep.
I just think that you always hear they want to grow the game, right? That was the big idea with the Live. You want to grow the game and take it to places where it hasn't been, right? Because the PGA Tour is pretty well set, and they're going to make some changes to it, but it's the first time they've made changes in forever, right? And I could name you the first 6 weeks of the PGA Tour by heart because they do it. They've been doing it for years, and so the Live idea was grow the game, and then you heard we saw the spat between Ariema and Dawn Staley, right, at the end of the game when they played in the NCAA tournament, and I happen to be watching it, and my wife's watching it, and I said, yeah, in a day or two, Ariema is going to come out and say, hey, I'm sorry. This was ridiculous. And that's what happened. He just spoke about it again the other day. And then Dawn Staley came out and said, hey, it got out of hand a little bit. We want to grow the game, right? And so you hear about that. We want to grow the game. The World Baseball Classic. What was the intent? Grow the game, right? Make it more popular, right? At a time where it doesn't really have a whole lot of popularity outside of people wanting to escape the cold and going to spring training in Florida and Arizona, which is fun. But grow the game. Well, how about growing the game, playing each other? Utah State should play Utah and BYU every freaking year. every year, every single year. And I can argue they should go home and home within the same season. That would really grow the game.
They used to do that, and
I
coaches
know.
hated it. Got it knocked down to once a year, and then got it knocked down to not at all.
It's the dumbest thing that I have seen with all the realignment, all the changes, and we have to accept them because if you don't, you're going to get left behind. I agree on that. You got to change it. I got to get past. I don't follow the old Pac-12 schools, Pac-10 schools nearly as much as I used to. People saying the Lions tight end, what did he do at SC? I don't know. I didn't watch SC. Normally, I would be able to tell you everything that he did because I've been watching SC my whole adult life, but not anymore. I mean, occasionally, but not the level that I used to. So you got to adapt, but I don't have to adapt on non-conference schedule with Utah, BYU, and Utah State. And I can argue they should be playing Weber and UVU also. I mean, come on. Do I need Riverside, Cal Baptist, Pacific, and Abilene Christian on my schedule? Does that do anything? Is there any point on that outside of a complete and total waste of time?
How about Mississippi Valley State? You always enjoy those 60-point blowouts, don't you?
Yeah.
It's not even a good scrimmage.
No.
What are they doing?
So I refuse to accept it. I'll accept a lot, but I don't want to accept that. It just, no. Play these teams and good on everybody. And there's probably, some kids from Salt Lake, Utah County that go to Weber and go to Utah State, and they would like it. It's fun for the kids. Isn't this what it's about? To have those types of games. And, we've got past the stupid toxicity of it. That was the big thing, Utah and BYU, the Nick Emery thing. The toxicity. It's a friggin' basketball game. Nobody died. Nobody suffered permanent brain damage or anything else. It's a basketball game for 40 minutes. Here today, gone tomorrow. Well, when you're playing Holy Cross and Delaware, it's gone today and even more gone tomorrow. Whereas, at least if you do it, you'll have some buzz. If you played it on a Tuesday night in November or December, played it on a Saturday night, even better, or Friday. But if you didn't, this makes no sense to me, man. And this, if I were Utah State, I'd tell them to pound salt or sand or whatever you're supposed to pound. Either you come up here or we're not going down there. We'll play you both. If you want both at the D.C. or wherever. But I'm not going down. If you don't come up here, I'm not going down there. I think that's a disrespect. And I don't blame BYU for doing it. I mean, if you got leverage, use it. But I'm just speaking from the Utah State perspective. Go up there. And it galvanize your team and a bus ride and that. And I just think, and it would be fun. It'd be fun for the kids. And rather go play California Baptist and beat them by 31 points. And then UC Riverside, which you beat by 47 points.
Well, and here's the thing. You talk about UC Riverside. If you're going to play a dog team, why not bring more of a local element with a Southern Utah, Utah Tech, a Weber? Like, play those games versus bringing somebody from across the country. Yeah,
I mean, Riverside's not across the country, but
yeah,
you're gonna get slaughtered, and and the kids at the end of the bench, they're going to be excited. That's about it. The rest of us, I mean, and you're charging BYU's charging big money to go see that crap, and then they don't show up. And we all heard that the lower seats in those games were way empty. And then the big-time loyal fans who've been with you forever are sitting way up top, and they can't get access to those seats, and those seats are sitting there empty because nobody wants to make the trip on a Saturday night to see Riverside, December 13th. I'm looking at the schedule. What a waste of time. Go to Logan that day.
Well, and Kevin Young basically said as much after this. He says, I don't see what these games do for us, and because they're playing these bottom half of the NCAA teams, and they don't do anything. What's the point of playing I guess when you get those teams that are in those quad 3 and quad 4 games, all you're doing is you're charging everybody the money, whether they use the tickets or not, and you don't spend any money traveling, so you make the money. But from a basketball perspective, they're so bad. There's such a gap. The team doesn't get anything out of those games.
Yeah, I think you do spend the money because I think you give them money to come in.
Yeah, you're paying them hundreds of thousands of dollars.
You're giving them money to come in, so you are paying money.
So why not pay that money to a local team that, gets reinvested in the local community?
Yeah, that's it, you guys.
Well,
you freaking he's rubbed off on you, hasn't he?
Genius, yes, genius.
It's yeah. I mean, you're around that guy for enough. Your business acumen really gets going. It
does. It's elevated.
Because this guy, he don't do nothing unless there's a buck involved. That's why he's got a big TV. So
when the state
paycheck is why I live in Utah.
Legislature was investigating the Utah Athletic Department, that was one thing that came out of it was play in-state games. And they've started playing more in-state football games instead of bringing in Montana State or whoever. They have started cycling through SUU and Weber State.
I like it. They weren't reviewing it. They were investigating them. Wow, the verb he chooses.
They were.
When they were investigating, i.e. that corrupt athletic department.
It was a legislative audit, if I recall, is what the technical term
I thought it was like a review or an audit, but no, he says they're investigating. Efren Zimbalist Jr., the FBI. The names were changed to protect the innocent.
Give me the Law and Order theme song. Dun, dun. Give me the Law and Order theme, Yak. Bum, bum. Come on.
Hey there, it's Wayfair here, where delivery and setup are as easy as a few taps on your phone. You're relaxing in an old hammock, scrolling Wayfair's app, when you spot it, a brand new patio set. Next thing you know, Wayfair delivers it right to your patio and sets it up. Oh, you need a new grill too? All right, Wayfair's got you covered. With Wayfair's Room of Choice delivery and fast expert setup on qualifying orders, life gets a little easier. Visit wayfair.com or the Wayfair app.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Tusk Top.